This episode is gonna get very specific. I want you to check out your North Node, South Node in your astrology chart. I'm gonna give you some insights, how to read this, what does it mean, and how to make cash with this information. Welcome to the podcast, Manifesting Big Money Fast. My name is Janine Hurd. I am so excited that you found this podcast or that you're tuning in to another episode. This podcast is all about manifestation, big money, energetics, spirituality, how it's all connected, and most importantly, how you can increase your bank account right now. So let's dive in today's episode. I couldn't be more excited about today's episode. I always say that your birth chart can truly reveal your path to rapid manifestation and especially money manifestation. And sometimes people, when they first hear this, start working with me and I'm asking about, especially with my one-on-one clients, mastermind clients, I'm always asking for the birth time, place, all the information, and I pull their astrology charts and the human design charts because I want to know explicitly who is in front of me and how can I be in best service. If there's one thing I've learned, especially over the last 6 years, coaching so many different women, we are all unique. We all have unique gifts. And what's valid for me is not valid for you. How I run my business is most likely not how you should run your business in an easy and flow way. Because just like in a love relationship, we are attracted to the polar opposite. So the more I've learned about this, the more I can spot this and see this clearly in my clients, the better I became as a coach, the faster my clients received results. And the more stable, this is something I definitely would like to add, the more stable their results have been. Before I knew this knowledge, I had many clients, I was teaching them what I was doing, and they kind of had fast results, but then they left the coaching and the energy dropped. And we always can say, oh, yes, on the client, but whenever I see something, it's not working the way I desire, I always ask, is there something I could have done better? Is there something I could have done differently? And very often I receive an answer. And back then it was like, okay, for myself, I've experienced this also being a coachee myself. When I'm implementing a mentor's or coach strategy, which is not based on my alignment, my birth chart, it's working for the moment, but the moment I leave their energetic field, it dropped down. And this for me only happened when I was implementing something which was not mine, based like not mine on my alignment. So I thought in today's episode, also if you haven't joined the Copycat Masterclass, I highly can recommend you to still join the Copycat Masterclass. It is truly powerful to find out more practical things, what to check, how to check it in your human design chart, in your astrology chart, especially about money. However, I thought for today, I'm giving you a first nugget from this. And that is in the astrology chart, I want you to check, you just can Google this, to find your North Node and South Node. And that gives us already an indicator which kind of gifts you are bringing into this lifetime. This is your South Node. And what is your soul trying to develop into in this lifetime? This is your North Node. And you just Google, like, how can I calculate my North Node, South Node? And there are different astrology charts that give you information about that. Once you have this, you will receive 2 signs. For instance, my North Node is in Pisces. Pisces is, so what you will do afterwards, give me all the characteristics about, you just Google a Pisces North Node. In my case. So what that would mean is a Pisces is all about spirituality, intuition, sensitivity. It's about feeling things and not so much doing. And this was so interesting to me and hit me so hard when I've heard about this for the first time. And I'm like, this is not me. I love to do a lot of things. I love logic and strategy, intuition. It's kind of cute, but it's for sure not going to bring me any money. Spirituality, I was laughing about the people who were spiritual. I'm like, yeah, you guys be spiritual. I'm over here making my money. So it was really the parts I had a lot of resistance towards. I was highly judgmental. And my resistance pattern was always, till today, this is how I spot it, I'm making fun. I'm kind of making fun about the people who are on my path and are living that. This was, if I look back till today, I clearly can see this all my life. If there was something that was for me, but I didn't want to accept it, I was highly judgmental, mean, hurtful with my words, was laughing about the people, was making fun about those people. And this for sure I can say about having a Pisces North Node. So when I first learned about this, it hit me hard because, like I told you, these were the characteristics I was making fun of. I definitely considered this to bring in any money. And I kind of was sitting in this session and I took a deep breath. And probably after a couple months, I've asked myself, how can I start actually implementing this in my business? And this is really when my coaching business skyrocketed, like from, high 5-figure months, like 70, 80,000 to 250,000, $500,000, even some $1 million months. And a couple of things I've changed or started implementing, for instance, was, I've asked myself this question, how can I allow my intuition to speak even more? And that was the point in time when I stopped preparing any coaching session, mastermind sessions. Like I never had really any PowerPoint slides again. When I'm speaking on stage, podcast interviews, Q&A calls, I answer everything very intuitively. I don't prepare. And that was so scary in the beginning. A lot of beliefs came up. I'm like, who am I? You don't even have to prepare anymore. You're becoming lazy. You should prepare your sessions. Yada, yada. A lot of like, you should have to work harder, more. Because the moment I allowed myself to truly follow my intuition, my life became so easy, so much flow. I allowed myself to learn, to nurture that my intuition is always right, that my intuition is always guiding me. The other part, if you've been in my world very early from the beginning, I was mostly teaching business strategy. I wasn't talking about energetics, mindset, manifestation at all. I thought it was voodoo, and we gotta do some real business here. Judgmental Janine, 5 years ago. And the magic really happened when I started combining both of them. The spiritual part and the business part. And that was massive for me. I felt so uncomfortable adding some spiritual parts, even like lately. I've always had a couple meditations and rampages I've recorded, but not so frequently like we do it now, twice a month. And never ever, if you would have asked me back in the day, you think you only, like, not only, but you really can change or up-level your business through meditations, I would have said, hell no. And now, especially this last year, I saw how much my business has changed again, upgraded, up-leveled, really reached the next level. And most of it, especially all the action steps I've received, came through downloads. I'm bringing myself in a meditative state. It's exactly how I'm showing you in the heart opener sessions and money activations. And I'm downloading, I don't have a better word for it. I'm downloading directly from my higher self, my intuition, the quantum field, however you want to name it. And I act on those impulses. And the wildest and biggest magic has been happening over and over and over and over again. It's just mind-blowing. And if you would have asked me this 5 years ago, do you believe in this? You think this can have an impact on the business world? I'm like, yeah, it's a cute little, like, mindfulness activity. I kind of would have thought those things are part of a relaxation, but I never would have dared to truly implement it in the business world. And for sure, I wouldn't have had the belief that it can create me multi-millions, my company, even easier and faster than ever before. And I'm sharing this with you because it all started by reading my birth chart, my human design charts, like really seeing in those charts what are my moneymaker activities, what are my gifts. We clearly can see what's the best way for you to make money, to receive money, to spend money, what is an environment you strive in, what is an environment you don't strive in. There's so much to see, to read. And the cool part is when you learn this for yourself, you like it, find it beneficial, you can use this for your clients as well. And I'm telling you, because this for me is always a conversation we are not having in the coaching and mentoring industry. Everyone is always talking about, oh, look, my business is growing. This is how much money I make, yada, yada, yada. But no one seems to talk about how you are actually improving as a coach and mentor. I'm like never seeing those conversations. Maybe people talk about how much they've invested. Yeah, this is beautiful. I've also invested a lot of money. I've also invested a lot of money into coachings and mentorings in which I would say I didn't learn anything. I learned the fact that I didn't want to run my business like that. But like skills-wise, didn't learn anything. So this is also one of the tools I use for close proximity clients, how my coaching became even more potent. Because while reading this, you also can see what's triggering, like what are the shadows of your clients. And I feel when we know the shadows of someone, especially in a business context, in a life context, in a coaching context, it's easier to realize them and to have boundaries and to hold this person, not to fall into their shadows, but see the shadows, change the shadows, and really act on the gifts. So if you haven't signed up for the masterclass, do it. If you already feel like, hey, I truly, truly desire the complete program in which we're going through various modules to learn different things about yourself, your gifts, your talents, your strengths, your moneymaker activities, environments you strive in, and how also to put this all together in a business context, then the unique program is definitely for you. And as always, both programs are part of the Manifesting Big Money Fast, the university, which gives you access to all programs, masterminds for a full year, which are happening in the Rich and Happy world, as well as a really cool program vault of past programs. So the moment you can sign up, you already can go all in. I love you. I talk to you next Monday. Thank you so much for listening to the podcast Manifesting Big Money Fast. I've got 3 very important announcements for you. First, if you like what you're listening, make sure you leave some gratitude, leave a review, share the podcast. Second, if you love what you're listening to and you want more of that, there is a VIP version available. That means you will have access to 3 podcast episodes every single week. Simply check out the store, courses.richandhappiness.com, or the link in the show notes. And lastly, there are always monthly money activations happening around the new moon and full moon. If that is something you're interested, check out the store for the next money activation. I love you, and I can't wait to see your beautiful face soon again.